Tennessee Senator, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Marsha Blackburn, this week introduced the Protecting Our Supreme Court Justices Act. And Senator Blackburn will join us live in a moment to talk about that. But of course, no conversation with the senator about the Supreme Court would be complete without us playing for you one of the all-time great moments in recent political history.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
And here is Senator Marsha Blackburn. I just can't resist that every time. We got to play it. It was a magnificent moment. But let's talk about the serious subject now, the Supreme Court ethics story. Your thoughts on that and the legislation that you've been working on.
Yes, indeed. The hearing that we held this week, Steve, was something that was put in place to demonize, to politicize, to really smear the court. And we knew that. We should have been having a hearing on my legislation, the Protecting Our Supreme Court Justices Act, which would stiffen the penalties in Section 1507. That's the section of the code that deals with these protesters who protest judges and are trying to intimidate judges and influence the outcome. My legislation would change that from 1 year of jail time to 5 years of jail time. We need to send that message that we fully recognize we are three separate branches of the federal government.
Yes.
And the executive branch, the judicial branch, and our legislative branch cannot tell the judicial branch how to do their job. But the Democrats keep challenging the independence of the court. And they are doing this through different briefs. They are doing it through hearings. They're trying to do it through legislation. And I am pushing back. That is why we filed our legislation this past week.
Good for you. And I think this ethics stuff they're pushing, that's part of it too. I mean, we all want ethics in every branch of government. But can I turn to, we were just talking earlier about the health and well-being of children. And on the technology side of that, you've got some really important legislation on that as well. The Kids Online Safety Act. Tell us about that.
Yes, indeed. Senator Blumenthal and I filed that legislation this week. It is bipartisan. 33 senators joined us in this legislation. Hundreds of groups and organizations support it, and thousands of kids and their parents. This would put the burden on social media to do safety by design, and you would have to have safety by default. It would also put a portal in place on all these different social media sites where parents can report videos and postings that are there on self-harm, that would lead to bulimia, suicide, other dangers to children. And we put a time clock on social media to respond to those parents, to get these postings down. Social media is using our children as a cash cow. They are monetizing the data. They're data mining these children. They are following them on social media. Indeed, TikTok is probably the worst of all of them. We have children that are losing their lives from these TikTok challenges. And Senator Blumenthal and I have worked for the last few years on this legislation, and we're so pleased to have 1/3 of the Senate join us as original co-sponsors when we introduced that bill last Tuesday.
Fantastic. Great to see you working on that as well. You've been busy, and we appreciate it. Senator Blackburn, great to see you as always.